This is Carl Dahm with your real P&L update. Today is April 1st, 2020. I'm going to update the account for March, the month of March of 2020. The first thing I want to do though is go over what would have happened if my position that I had on that took a loss, you saw that I took a loss in February. If I had that position on, how would that have held up throughout the rest of the market? Because this position is actually designed to hold up in any market environment. Well, here's what it looked like when I opened it. You want to pay attention to this number here. That's my P&L of minus $468 on the open. That's because of slippage. And I'm going to go ahead and move this up to a couple hours later to 10:50 because I exited this trade at that time of day and a couple days away. So this is Monday the 24th when I opened. You can see just after a couple hours it's down pretty significant. So we'll go to the next day. And you can see the day and time stamp up here. And here's the P&L of the position. So I'll just move forward here. So you can see that the market's coming down and this position is getting negatively affected. And here's when I exited the trade, right here, this exact time. So it was down about $44,000 when I exited. Let's see what would happen if I would have stayed in. So the next day, down the same. Next day, down the same. So you can see that it didn't really draw down lower than that $45,000. And you can see that a few days later, we're still at that same drawdown. So normally by now, my hedges would have activated and I would have been out of this trade. So I'm looking at this thing thinking, what's going on? You know, it's not normal. But let's see if the hedges did actually activate. On Monday, the 9th of March, still no activation. But I haven't lost any more than when I did when I got out. Here's Tuesday, March 10th. Wednesday the 11th. And you can see now that we're starting to come in a little bit of a profit on this position on Thursday, March 12th. And Friday the 13th looks pretty good. And then we can see Monday the 16th, I would have exited here. This trade actually would have made me $74,000. That would have been a nice profit if I would have held on. I just saw things that I'd never saw before with the trade. I basically got pushed out of it. But here is how resilient my positions are in the account. I just was surprised to see that drawdown for such a long period of time without the hedges activating. But they did finally activate, and here's what I wanted to show you that they did. Okay, well, let's go over what happened in March. In March, it was a really good month. Things went as predicted. The market was a little unpredictable, but that didn't have any effect on the system that I have in place. The system I have in place is set up for any and all type of market conditions. And so that means it was set up for this particular market condition, the one that happened in March. So you can see here, here's the first trading day in March. I actually had to add $25,000 into the account because it was under the $100,000, which is required for portfolio margin. So I had to add that in. So at the time it was around $110,000. But you can see how this particular month went for me. It went very well, up to 132, up 20% for the month. And I don't expect to see 20% returns per month, but I do expect to see overall positive returns, at least consistently. Not necessarily monthly. I mean, there might be months where I'm not up. All my back tests with this system show that I will make profits over a consistent basis. And I have been out looking at as many gurus as I can, as many financial guys as I can, and I've always asked them, what's your P&L? but nobody wants to show their P&L. There's only just a couple people that show their P&L, very, very few. One of them is San Lucci. The other one is David Jaffe. I haven't heard from David. He hasn't put up a video for a couple of weeks. But those are the only two that I know of, and then me, that's three. No one else is willing to share their actual real P&L. And when people aren't willing to show their real P&L, I really don't think that they're credible. They're just touting all the things that they can do and all the things that they say they've done and everything, but it's not real because they haven't shown their P&L. So remember, if you want a credible mentor, get their P&L.